Let's talk about why athletes should be following customized workout programs. Now, most team training sessions would have one workout for the entire group, but our belief is that each athlete needs their own individual workout program, even though it takes us on average about 5 to 10 extra hours a week to get all of these ready. And there's a few different reasons why I feel that this is so beneficial for kids. The first is that each individual has their own roadmap, their own path that they want to follow to get to their greatest self. So when we get into what are your goals, what is it that you want to work on, we get some pretty diverse answers. So some people want to build muscle, some people need to be more fit, some people want to return from injury. There's all these different variances and different roadmaps that require us to create different paths. So on the most basic level, we just try to cater our service to each individual's greatest needs. But it's more than that. There are big age differences and big growth related issues with a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 18-year-old that we have to take into account when we're writing workouts. We're working with ages where there's very large differences in what they can tolerate as far as workload, as far as exercise types, and we have to be very careful that we're not doing anything that's going to cause problems, but at the same time we have to balance out what's going to get this athlete the best right now. So there's a second reason why everybody's a little bit different in there. A third big reason is a sport. So if I'm playing basketball, I have very different needs than if I'm an offensive lineman in football or if I'm a golfer or a rower. So I have to take into account the demands of each individual sport. I also have to think through any injury history or any injury risk that's common in that sport and even at that position. So contact sport athletes, I might have to be more mindful of concussion concerns. Whereas certain athletes that are playing running and cutting sports like basketball, I've got to be very careful for non-contact knee injuries and those types of things. And then the final reason is that I have to make sure that I'm catering to the training experience level and the coordination level of each particular athlete. So if I have a new athlete who's 16 years old and maybe struggles with coordination or hasn't been in any type of formal workout program at all, an Olympic lift like a power clean or a hang clean is really not a great place to start that athlete. But if I have somebody who's been training in a formal program for years and their coordination is really good, now I might challenge that athlete with a bit of a more complex movement in there. So when I'm taking all of this into account, I need to understand that just following a workout program, it gets you something, but it doesn't get you everything, right? And the reason why we would customize workouts is we want to make sure our athletes are getting everything. Every time they walk into the gym, they are getting 100% the most out of that workout they possibly can. And that's a big reason why I believe that customizing workout programs is critical for athletic development.